Welcome back. Chip Flory joining us for Chip's Corner this week. All right, Chip, another sign of trouble in the ag economy. We have farm bankruptcies that are actually on the rise. And we saw a Rural Mainstreet Index come out that also shows concern among ag lenders.
Yes, absolutely. And that's exactly who is part of Ernie Goss's Rural Mainstreet Index. It's the CEOs of rural banks is who they are talking to. So it's really important to understand that as we think about it. But the bottom line here, Tyne, is when there are economic problems on the farm, there's going to be economic problems in small towns across the Midwest. And the banks are seeing some of those issues. Now, with the trade issues that have developed, there's an increasing level of concern, but the bankers, the bank CEOs at these rural banks, are 75% of them are very much in support of what President Trump is doing and the effort to level the playing field for trade across the country. Now, whenever I get an opportunity to talk with Ernie, the one of the questions that I'm going to ask him is what's the condition of those rural banks out there? Because when that's the real gauge of how economic conditions are out there.
I think the banks are in pretty good stead there, Chip. They're doing certainly better than last time. They didn't get overextended. We don't have the problem of foreclosures on the farms. Even with the last 2023 and 24, not good years for farm income. 2025 still not looking that good. Even so, the farmer is still in reasonably good condition, not overextended. Now, farmland prices have continued to come down, but only slightly. The farmland prices are coming down, but the good news is not as much as farm income is coming down.
So, Ty, you said it as we got started. The foreclosure or the bankruptcy rate is up from what it was a year ago. But when you look at the year ago numbers and compare it to 2019, 2020, we're well below those levels that we saw at that time. Also, the final point that Ernie made about land prices, I think that's really important. Land, obviously, is where agriculture stores its wealth. And if land prices have at least stabilized, that will help to stabilize the farm economy as well.
Chip, did Ernie mention anything about regionally where we are seeing the most pain? I mean, a couple weeks ago on the show, we talked about the cotton crop and cotton farmers and how bleak of an outlook it is for them. A couple weeks ago, we also talked about wine grape growers in California, no demand there and the concerns there. So did he talk regionally about what areas of the country we are seeing farmers struggle the most?
Well, we talked about the difference in the segments, and you know what that is. Row crop, wheat, cotton, they're struggling a whole lot more than what the livestock segment is, including dairy. They're struggling more than what dairy is at this point.
All right, Chip Flory, you can catch him twice a day on AgriTalk AM and AgriTalk PM. Well, right in Chip's backyard, farmers are reporting not only an impressive planting pace this year, but possibly a record planting pace. Now, they did see some rain that gave them some of a break, but we're going to hit the field next. Michelle Brook rejoins us for our Whiffles planting tour.